Go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. October 30th, different scenery. Now I'm at the gym. So you get a little bit more introspective in terms of where I work. So starting off, we'll start off with a little disclaimer. These conversations that we have are not to be taken with any kind of seriousness or any kind of authority. We are just a bunch of college students here, just pursuing our best path in order to be successful, and we're just taking you guys along the journey. If it doesn't end up being anything, well, then you can see that, or if it ends up becoming something, you can also see that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Good morning, everybody. It's a Friday. It's time to take our shot. We're doing it with coffee because we're good boys. Cheers.
Salute.
Aside of that, let's jump right into the topics of the day. For today on finance, we're going to be what kind of expectation should you have while trading or investing? Some news updates from yesterday and today. In the fitness, we're going to be talking about things that you shouldn't be doing at the gym. That's an interesting one. Yeah.
While I'm at the gym right now?
Correct. I think you have more experience on that. But I've seen a lot of things in these few months. These few weeks that have gone. And other than that, on the personal development, is a struggle and adversity necessary to be successful in anything? And with that, let's jump right into finance. What kind of expectation should you have while trading or investing? Should you have any expectation, actually?
Well, with all things that you do, you should have some sort of expectation. But when it comes to trading and investing, it's, again, relative to the person. It depends on what kind of things you're trading and investing in. Your expectations are supposed to be set such that they're low simply because the market is unpredictable. You should never be putting yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable with the amount of money that you're putting in and investing. You have to be willing to lose that money, because that's exactly what could happen at any point if something bad happens. Take the global economy as it stands right now. A lot of people lost money as, let's say, technology was going up because they were fully invested in, let's say, industry, right? Industry, when it just plummeted. Think of things like airlines, hotels, cruise lines, things like that. Those are kind of things that kind of just absolutely got decimated by the pandemic, and they're still down. And let's say hypothetically you were the kind of person that was big on that, you would have lost a lot, if not all your money by this point. So when it comes to trading and investing, your expectations should be, I'm putting this money in and I'm doing the best practices in order to make this money make me money. But if it doesn't go according to plan, it's not going to break me. It's just things don't go your way, and that's how life is sometimes. Things are not always going to go your way. So you got to have a plan if that ends up being the case.
Good. Yeah, there's a really good quote that says something like, the best way to avoid disappointment is not to expect anything. And that applies to everything. Now, expectation, it's good and bad, I will say, but mainly bad, because if you expect something and it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, then you're going to be pretty much doubting yourself, really low. But if you didn't expect anything, then you wouldn't really worry as much as before. Now, when it comes to trading, what I think is mainly when you day trading, especially, you have to have your fundamentals down. So you have to know whether the trade is going to be good or bad. Like, it's simple as that. Not to expect that it will be good, but know that it is going to be good. Now, if it goes bad, shouldn't really take it as how you expected it, or take it like fuck it, but instead learn from it. See why it didn't go the way that you wanted to be, and see what was the mistake, what was the different flows. Now with the market, is always unpredictable, so you shouldn't really expect much. And yeah, I feel like expectations, that goes more deep into like your personal development too, because I think it's Shakespeare who says that expectation is the root of all suffering, or of all heart headache, something like that. It's a really good quote. But um, but yeah, so that's my point on that expectation. So you shouldn't really have or expect something to go your way if you didn't have the fundamentals down, if you didn't do your own research, do your pretty much study the charts, study the company, and so on forth.
Yeah, you definitely have to do your due diligence, and you definitely have to learn from these mistakes, especially when you are starting out.
Hmm.
Because again, starting out, everybody's really hopeful, right? They're hoping that they can double their money, and they'll be the next Warren Buffett, or think of a big guy that's into investing. But the problem
Hmm.
is, oftentimes these people have decades of experience, and they understand that trading isn't supposed to be about hoping that you'll be successful. It's about consistently making a plan, and whether that plan goes well or not, you kind of just continuously
Adjust.
adjust whatever it is that you're doing, right? So hypothetically, let's take 10 or 5 trades, right? I have a plan that these 5 trades are all going to either go twice the amount. So whatever I put in, I'll get 2x the amount, or at least 2% of that trade. And if I lose 1%, then I will cut my losses and leave the trade. Out of those 5 trades, let's say 2 of them end up having to be trades that you cut your losses on, and 3 of them are successful. That means you've made about 6%, but you've lost 2, right? In total, you've made 4%. That's the kind of mentality that you got to approach these things
Hmm.
with. It's not a series of like you're going to be consistently profitable or you're going to be consistently failing. It's just, it's a probability game. That's definitely one of the things you have to keep in mind. A lot of this is just taking the chance, setting yourself up in such a way where you are very confident in that trade that you're going to make. And even if it doesn't go according to plan, the next one will, because a lot of it is just risk management. You have to be able to manage the risk, because a lot of times things won't go your way. But if they do, it'll always be at least 2 or 3 times the amount of you losing.
Absolutely agree on that with you. Definitely, what was it? Definitely, if definitely balance it out, your gains and losses, because sometimes you're losing the profit that you already made, but you don't realize that you already made the profit. Now that's something I struggle still. Like yesterday, for example, one of my big examples with Apple, before the market closed, it was around 116 and something. I had the earnings report was coming out. I knew the earnings report was going to be strong, that it's going to give it like a little boost, just a little boost, like $1 or $2 extra. And then it's going to jump, go all down. It's going to drop. So I set my limit price around 118. And what happens? It never reached 118. It actually went all the way up to 117, but it didn't reach 118. And it dropped all the way down to 109. And what did I do? I'm still confident that Apple is gonna, once again reach to that level, because the company that it is. So I'm gonna hold it. I'm not gonna sell it. That's because it's on my long-term portfolio anyways. But I was trying to just a little diversify a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I'm confident that the company is gonna go pick itself up a little bit, like maybe 115 or a little bit more in the next month or so. So I'm just gonna hold it until it reaches that little peak, and then just cut it off, and then just hold a portion of it. So managing your risk and knowing knowing that company well, or knowing how that company has performed in the past, and how it you're what can I say, who you're not psychics, so you cannot really predict what is gonna go up or how fast it's gonna go up. But if you're confident that the company has a lot of potential, and you look at the numbers and the fundamentals, then you can at least know at some point, maybe 6 months to a year from now, it's gonna reach to the point. And that's something, if you can manage, holding the position, that by all means, if you want more profit, by all means, just hold it. But if you just want to cut up your losses, locking profit, if you already made $100, $200 on one stock, sell it because you already made profit out of it, even if it's like a penny or $2. But yeah.
Yep. I just remember something. So I have this thing where like I make these predictions, right? So let's say 90% of the times these predictions are right, but I have no idea what time frame that is. So I don't know if it's going to happen today, 1 week from now, a month from now, a year from now. 90% of the time I'm right. I just don't know when. And that's kind of the thing. You have to understand that's where the risk management comes into play, because hypothetically you'll probably be right, but you don't know if you're going to be right now. And let's say the trade was supposed to be a day trade and all of a sudden it doesn't go at any way how you thought it was going to go. If you keep bag holding it, then you kind of just, now you have to set that money aside because you can't use it anymore because you're waiting for whatever that expectation that you thought was going to happen. You don't know when that's going to happen. So you got to be very diligent about, hey.
And that, once again, I feel like it comes down to, not putting all your eggs in one basket. So if that trade goes south, you always have like a little reserve of money that you can trade with. But that's an issue I notice a lot with trading, because that happened to me on day trading more often than.
Risk management is key. You got to make sure whatever the trade that you're going to make, you have to be 100% confident that you can take the trade and not hesitate. But also understand that if it doesn't go according to plan, you can't just like, well, it is what it is now, and I'm just going to hold it forever. Probably,
yeah, that's true.
Your theory or whatever you thought was going to happen will happen at some point, but you don't know when. And again, if the point is to be a trader, then that's not really a method to be a day trader.
For
if
sure.
you're holding long term, that's something different.
Yeah, I'm a long term holder, guys, for my long term portfolio. But my day trade, I usually try to be on the mindset of a trader rather than an investor. But something, that mindset that the other mindset takes over the other mindset and somehow. But no, I do sometimes do what do you call it, like bag carrying, but
bag holding, yeah.
Bag holding, but
just to explain that term real quick, it's just like you bought into something and you thought it was going to go one way and then it doesn't. So then you're forced to hold the position because you're waiting until you make some profit out of it.
Not just make some profit, maybe that trade went south, so you're trying to recuperate those profits, but you don't realize that maybe if you cut up your losses at that point, a certain point, and buy another trade, you can regain those profits and maybe make actual profit. So regain the capital and then make profit. So I always think about that because the longer that you hold something, especially on a day trade portfolio, the longer that you hold it, it's money being wasted. Because if the trade is going south or it's just flat, the money is just there, where you can allocate those resources to another trade and make recuperate the capital eventually and then make profit. So I always think about those little strategies. To be honest, those are strategies that you can work with.
Sure. Listen, there's so many dichotomies in the world of trading and investing. Like in one sentence where you say don't bag hold, but in another sentence we say your theory is going to come correct at some point. So then you're with the thought, well, if my idea is going to come to life, then I'll just put in the money and then eventually it'll come to life.
That's a good mindset for long-term investors, not for day traders, for sure.
But not for day traders.
Yeah, not for day traders. Because even so, if your prediction comes to be right, are you going to see patterns that it's eventually coming to to life? Then you already have the resources somewhere. Allocate the money right there and take advantage of it. So you already regained the capital, already made some profit, and once your prediction comes through, boom, you make more profit.
That's it.
Awesome. Some news updates for today. What do you got? What traders are you looking at?
So unfortunately yesterday I couldn't really do too much with the market because everything was literally just going up, and I was with the biased mindset of everything is going to go down again. So I didn't really take that much of a position. But I don't know if you got to catch NEO. It went up 16% yesterday.
I did not.
16%. Crazy movements. There's a lot of momentum and hype behind the company now. It'll probably drop a little bit today, but now it's slowly but surely just starting to uptrend more and more. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Again, the market bounced back pretty nicely yesterday, and then it fell off a cliff after market close.
That was dragged by Apple and
Yeah.
Amazon at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're little by little, we're just making more consistent lower lows as we get closer and closer to the elections. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen there. And then if we end up getting to the point of like contesting the vote, like whoever wins or the other party's like, no, it doesn't count, then that's going to probably create a negative catalyst that would further push the markets down.
Indeed. Well, on my end, on my day trade side, I was able to lock in some profits with SVXY. I keep forgetting the name. It was a really good run. I'm still I held that position. Like I sold some of the shares, held a quarter of the position. I'm still holding it. I'm gonna see how it goes. I had some expectations that whether the tech earnings report was dragged down the market, it will eventually bounce back. It didn't go as well, but that's why I cut off my loss. I cut off my shares, but I locked in some profit on that. Really good move. I will see if I can sell it as soon as the market enters, because I'm pretty sure today is going to be a negative trend again, but we're gonna see a little bounce back early in the mornings. I'm sure of that. But on my long-term portfolios, let's talk about Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and who else reported yesterday? Yeah,
Twitter?
the big tech companies. Was it Twitter? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
no,
Twitter,
it was Amazon, Apple, Google, and Facebook. The four big tech companies yesterday reported their earnings reports. Really strong quarter for these companies. But regardless of that, Amazon and Apple were the only ones that dragged the Nasdaq down with a big drop, especially Apple. So they were confident. They got really good strong numbers on the last quarter, but they cannot really ensure investors how good of a quarter they're looking at follow in the next month because of the release because of the release of the iPhone 12. They didn't release any numbers regarding the pre-orders and stuff like that. They mainly focus on the AirPods and the Bumble thingy, the Apple Pro or whatever the name it is.
Yeah.
That one that you pay the subscription and stuff. So so that's what kind of worries the investors regarding how good it will be next quarter. But we gotta see. We gotta wait. I'm confident that it's gonna be backhand. Regarding to Amazon, they focus their main attention on like they raised the price to $50 minimum wage. They start complaining about like they start something and then another company, aka Walmart, start copycat all what they do, and I think that kind of like started just giving blame to other companies rather than telling their numbers, even though the numbers were really good. So I feel like that was one of the reasons investors kind of didn't seem confident on Amazon. When regarding Google and Facebook, in the other hand, regardless of the lawsuit, regarding of the lawsuit against Google, it went to the sky. Like their numbers are really strong, and so for Facebook, like they managed the political ads and stuff, and ad revenue was increased last quarter as well. What's really good numbers for these companies, and it shows on their stock. It rose about some points. Good. Now another big catalyst yesterday that dragged the market up was the release of the GDP, the US GDP, and it seems like I'm looking at the chart right now, it seems like we are in a V-shaped recovery, even though I thought a lot of people mentioned that, a lot of, kind of specialists, they mentioned that we were on the K-shaped recovery. Like, some industry went up and another one went down, which is true. But looking at the GDP graph, it's more clear that we are on a V-shaped recovery, which is really good. That means that, there are different types of recoveries. B shape, L shape, and what is the other one? Those are the only ones. K is a new one. There's another one too. If you in business or in economy, you understand the terms, but pretty much is how the recovery, like how the charge looks like. If it's a B, it's usually bounce really nice, really quick. If it's an L, it usually takes longer, and so forth. There are other ones, and the K is that one economy goes up and the other one goes down. Now, half of that 22 million job lost since Corona, since March, half of them have been recuperated, which is a really good sign that economy is improving. But regarding of that, guys, there's many conflicts around the U.S. and around Europe, especially with the second wave. So be careful with that. Be careful with the big Rona, and yeah, and also watch out for the elections because a lot of things are in play for these elections, like a lot of things. So yeah, definitely watch out for that. We don't want to
Be
go into political.
cautious.
Yeah, and if you are able to vote early, go vote early. I might go vote on the same day just because I want the sticker.
All right. Well, have fun with that. It's raining and gloomy. The last couple of days have been pretty bad.
Next week is gonna be beautiful though, so
Yep.
should be cool. So
Sweet.
no excuses. No excuses.
All right. So let's jump into the next one.
Yeah, on the next topic, we got things not to do at the gym. You as a personal trainer, what can you tell me about that? Like it gets annoying.
There's a couple things. Like when I'm training my clients and I start seeing people like taking up a lot of space for no reason, or they start getting in the way of like the training areas, that usually gets pretty annoying. But some pretty basic things, right? Odor. That's definitely one of those things that most people, they really do not like when somebody smells bad. Especially if you're the type of person that likes doing cardio. Definitely need to be very aware of your odor, because as you start doing cardio, I think your alarm is going off.
Yeah, and don't worry about it. It's gonna go out soon. There you go.
There you go. So yeah, that odor when you're doing cardio, that definitely just permeates throughout the entire gym. Right now, my gym is designated in floors, and on the second floor we have this guy that usually comes in with this really bad odor, and he starts doing cardio, and then the whole floor smells like that. So we have to have a cleaning team go around just air freshening the whole place, because the guy is just, I don't know, seemingly he doesn't like to use deodorant.
No, just to piggyback from the idea, there's people who actually have it's a medical condition that that you sweat too much, and that sweat is really like stinky. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's the case for some people. So let's not judge on that. But if you don't have the condition, buy a fucking spray. Like
Yeah, you gotta do something.
Carry that everywhere. I have I'm in Amazon. You can find the little packs. Get those. It's so cheap, and just carry one with you everywhere that you go. To be honest, especially if you're a single man.
Yeah,
Woman
for sure.
don't. All right, go ahead.
Let's see. So what else we got? You're the type of person that sweats a lot. Then definitely want to bring your own towel if you have that.
Yes.
Right now, with everything that's going on with the pandemic, you're being forced to clean all the equipment, but that should have definitely been something you should have been doing prior to the pandemic.
Yep.
Every time you're done using equipment, make sure you clean it, get it organized. If you put plates on stuff or like weights on the machines, take them off when you're done, re-rack everything, and just be a good person for the person that comes after you. Now, clothing. We definitely got to talk about clothing, because some people really like going crazy with their clothing, or sometimes it's just not. I don't understand. Sometimes like girls are wearing like really, really short shorts, and that's kind of distracting. Some guys are wearing really tight clothing that does not particularly look well on them because of their body. So you definitely want to be careful of that. Let's see.
Yeah, when it comes to clothing, I think you gotta go to the gym with clothes that you're comfortable to work on. Now, if you are a girl and you're just going for the attention, just don't go. Because be honest,
you can go, but maybe just try not to be that revealing with the clothing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of girls go just for the attention to the gym. But if you really focus on workout, your clothing shouldn't really matter. Definitely go with something that you're comfortable working on with, because you're gonna be sweating. Regardless if
Yeah.
you're cute or not, you're gonna look ugly. Like, I'm gonna lie.
It depends. Sometimes they do it well.
Yeah,
Um,
well, true. Well, regardless of that, some issues that I have noticed, especially now with the big Rona, we're doing that. Masks.
yeah.
Don't drop your mask. Don't just throw them away. There's a garbage that you can walk to like few feet away from you. Pick up your trash. Now, when it comes to like cleaning the machines, like Randy mentions, always clean it up before and after you work out. That's something that you should have been doing even before the pandemic, but even more now than ever. Do that. Um, what else? What else? I had a few good
Music.
ones. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yes. Don't bring your own speaker. Yeah.
Have your
Uh,
own headset or have a wired headset and just listen to your music on your own. It's the gym usually has their own music for a reason, and
facts.
it's not because your taste in music is bad, but it's because there's policies and regulations, and we can't really be having explicit content with the music.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be having loud music because some people have hearing aids or hearing problems. We got to be very diligent about that. And sometimes people just don't like your taste in music. So, just
Facts.
keep it to yourself. There's no need to show off or do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Your music
Yeah.
is your music. That's it. Just keep it that way.
Facts. Another thing too, the plates. So if you using the plate, put them back on, like put them where they belong. In other words, so if you're using a 20 pound weight, pick it up, use them, blah blah blah. Make sure that you put them back on where it belongs. Don't put it where the 40-pound dumbbells go. Put it where the 20 pounds dumbbell go. It's so annoying to just go to the gym and you find one 15-pound and you don't know where the fuck is the other one.
Yeah, so
That gets me
definitely
tight.
re-racking and doing stuff like that. It helps. With the gym, it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have people going around doing that, but sometimes it gets a little hectic, and
Yeah,
it's definitely useful if you can just, put your things back in the way that they're supposed to be. That just
bro.
helps.
Not gonna lie. Regardless of the stuff at the gym, you should be doing this because it's just manners. It's just your education. It shows the type of people, the person that you are.
Hmm.
Um, Good. That's a good one. So the trash, music, organization. Um, what else? Don't creep up on girls. So if you're going just to, you know, you can shoot your shot, be a champion, but just get out like as soon as you get her number. But don't creep on her. Don't
Yeah,
follow her.
you don't have to
I
be
feel
a
like,
weirdo about it.
yeah, don't be a weirdo about it. What
Uh,
else?
I think that
Um,
covers most of it.
yeah. Also, another thing that gets me tight sometimes is people who put their hand on the mirror. Don't do that. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
well, I'm not too much. I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, I mean,
really? I feel like you're
uh,
one of those people who does that.
put the hand in the mirror. No, just like
Yeah.
some. I mean, I don't know. That's not really an issue for me.
It gets me annoying because
I don't know.
um
So just don't do that.
fact. Another thing, the tower. Very important that he mentions about the tower. You should actually not just to the gym. You should bring it, especially during the summer. Bring it anywhere with you. Same thing at the deodorant. You sweat, you have something personal to you, right? So you just clean it up really quick. Yeah. Other than that, I think that covers a lot of the
Oh
stuff.
wait. There's one last thing I just remembered. So
Hmm.
judging people. Um,
Oh yes.
so sometimes, I mean, I get it. The first thing that we do is judge people by just like their appearance.
Hmm.
And that's just something that just happens literally subconsciously. You can't even help that sometimes.
True.
But you can definitely help the fact that you're going to talk about it. Um, so if you see somebody and they're, they don't seem to be doing things correctly, or they seem like the type of person that's just starting to get into the gym and they don't really know anything, or they're very
Hmm.
overweight, um, you know, they're in there for the reason of getting healthy. And you going out of your way to be mean or talking bad
Hmm.
about them simply because they don't know what they're doing doesn't
Help them.
really help anybody. If you want to be the person that actually helps them, you can do that as opposed to talking bad about them, because at the end of the day,
You've
I don't
been
know if
there.
you believe, yeah, I don't know if you believe in it or not, but karma is a thing.
Oh yeah,
And
for
if you
sure.
put out good energy to people, that usually comes back to you. And if you put out bad energy, that's going to come
No,
back to you as
and
well.
another thing too about that, you've been there. Like, okay, so maybe you were not overweight, maybe you were too skinny. Nobody was born with muscles. So if you're at the point that you know you were in shape, good physique, it took you time. You know the struggle. Then instead of judging people and kind of bringing them down just because you look better than them, help them. Kind of be their mentor. You never know what that person can bring into your life. He can become your best friend. He can become or she or he, you know, you guys can halfway open. That's my policy when I meet people. Leave the door halfway open because you never know what the person that you meet anywhere in life can bring into your
Future.
um yeah. But definitely don't judge people and don't go to the fucking gym to be standing there talking to other people.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
another thing for sure.
god, yo, that shit gets me tight because sometimes I'll be trying to use the fucking machine and I'm thinking that they using it, but they just like, yeah,
Chilling.
they
Yeah,
just
they're just there hanging out, waiting.
another thing too now with you know with the, the policies, the new policies because of Rona, if you try to go to the gym uh from like 45 minutes to an hour and a half max, don't spend too much time. You don't need to be there 2 3 hours, 4 hours, unless you're a professional bodybuilder. You don't need to be there that long.
Yeah.
Your body is gonna be dead. I don't know how you guys can handle that much.
No, at a certain point, you kind of get used to it. But we can save that topic for another day about overtraining and
Oh
undertraining.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, other than that, guys, go to, well, don't, if you don't need to go to the gym, but you know, work out, be healthy, and kind of, you know, wherever you go, bring your manners, bring your morals to the place. So don't throw trash, be respectful to each other, and like Randy says, karma is a bitch. So don't do things that you wouldn't want somebody to do to you. All right, cool. That's my
All right.
lesson of the day. Yeah. All right. Next topic. Next, last but not least, is a struggle and adversity necessary to be successful in anything?
Now, that is a good question because depending on the person that you talk to, they don't like adversity or they understand that adversity is necessary. Um, Personally, to me, I would say that adversity and the struggle, that's generally the only way you're going to understand. That's the only way you understand the difference between success and failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because through that, the pain and the suffering and the adversity, that's where you get a good understanding of what you're made of. If you can double down and come back from failure, or you're the type of person that just kind of gives up once things aren't going your way. That's I feel like that's like the filter. That's a filtering mechanism in order to see what kind of person you are.
Mm-hmm. No,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
no, I feel like on that topic, let me kind of read it out again. It's a struggle and adversity necessary. I think to answer the question directly, yes, it is necessary. Everybody goes through it, and it depends on you, depends on the person that you are to see how you deal with it. Do you run from it or do you confront them? Pretty much. And like Randy mentioned, it does show who you are and does show the type of person that you become eventually, because everybody has gone through some shit. Now, it can be, you know, mentally, it can be physically, it can be any sort of challenges, any sort of struggles. And it takes one to know one. So the fact that, you know, you hiding your insecurities or you hiding your kind of, you just filter it out, all the struggles that you're facing, you can lie the rest of the world, but you cannot lie to yourself. So knowing the struggles that you're facing is very important, because embracing those struggles and just confronting them, it's going to take you a long way. Else, I don't know, I feel like you will be running uh you will be running away from a lot of things the rest of your life if you don't confront them.
For
So
sure.
yeah,
For sure.
to be successful, you need to you are going to face struggles. You are going to face dark nights that you feel like shit. You feel really low, and it can be physically, mentally, emotionally, but they're gonna be there. And the stronger that you stand from them or stand against them, it's gonna take you a long way. I think I believe in that, but everybody goes through it. What do you think?
100%. 100%. One of my core beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that I've developed over time is to try to be the most reliable person that I know. And
Mm-hmm.
in order to make that happen, it's through struggle and adversity. That's the only way you get to see what you're made out of. People aren't really going, people don't necessarily go out of their way to look for struggle and adversity because it's uncomfortable and people don't really like being uncomfortable. But the problem
No.
is situations will present themselves where you have to be uncomfortable or you're going to be uncomfortable. And if you're not prepared, if you're not ready mentally, physically, and emotionally, that can take you out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's something that completely takes you out, like from this life, or something that just takes you out for a period of time, it depends. But if you're the type of person that actively goes out to look for struggle and adversity and to become better regardless of the situation, that I feel like that's the place where you want to be, just because
Definitely.
you're not
It's
going
up.
to be the yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, you're not going to be the type of person that, not that you don't need anybody, but that that it is whatever the situation presents itself in life, that you'll be able to handle it because you've been through so many difficult things, and you know that you've come out on top simply because you're the type of person that can strive when there's struggle and adversity, as opposed to the type of person that runs away from it.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree with you on that aspect of uh, sometimes yeah we think we're the shit and we think we can do it on ourselves, like ourselves. Now that's not the case. Most of the things in life you are gonna need people on to rely on. Now maybe not to help you with a specific project, but some people that can listen to you, some people that can advise you, give you a different perspective. So never do things on yourself because you're not alone. And if you're facing something, there's always going to be that someone that's going to have your back. That's someone that you can always rely on. And it's very important to have that someone, to be honest.
For
Now,
sure.
shit, I had something to say, I forgot. Uh, but yeah, um, uh, my train thought left. My train
uh,
left. Yeah,
all right,
it
then
left.
next time.
My inspiration was gone. But yeah,
Ah,
but yeah, um, no, definitely. Oh yeah, yeah,
so
actually, good. I
got
got
it.
it back. I got
All
it
right, all
back.
right.
All right, boom. So now, if you are the type of person who confronts those adversities in your life, and that's being successful. Now, the mindset for everybody should be that you are already successful at the point in your life that you are at right now. Because take a look a year back, take a look 5 years back, 10 years back. You were not the same person. So if you have grown, and I'm pretty sure everybody has grown, then you're already successful. And that's the mindset that you want to keep on. But looking back, you realize the struggles and the adversities that you have faced within the year. Maybe emotionally, maybe who knows, like you have a member of your family who passed away, maybe you broke up with your partner and stuff like that. Those are adversities. Now, maybe you fail a class. So take a look back. So if you were able to confront those with, a strong hand, then you are already successful. And always is a mindset that you want to keep on. Now, once you understand that, you are going to be more empathetic with people that are facing similar struggles. And it's really good to be in that point because you are able to give that help to the person that you probably didn't get, or maybe you wish you had. In being the type of person to help others is very, very, very fulfilling in a sense. So
Mhm.
understanding that definitely is going to make you more empathetic to people, and definitely is going to make you understand them better and listen to them. So
Mm,
yeah.
for sure. I just thought of another idea for maybe the next
Mm-hmm.
podcast in terms of topic:
Good.
humility and confidence. Right. So,
Oh
like you
yeah, for
just said
sure.
there, you have to have humility and
Mm-hmm.
understanding that you're not the shit, but you also need to have the confidence and understand that if you put in the necessary amount of work and time, you're going to become the person that pretty much is a shit. But
I mean,
again, it's a balancing act. You can't
yeah.
think that it's one and you can't be
It's
too much of the other.
yeah, it's balancing your ego. It's all about your ego. Remember, ego
Mhm.
is your physical self. But yeah, bro. Cool. Good talk.
All right. I feel like that was it.
Cheers. 1 week. I mean, second week.
Second week
Of the
done
books.
in the books.
In the books. We're making this. All right. Yo, everybody, enjoy the weekend. Have fun. Be happy. And
Happy
yeah,
Halloween.
happy Halloween. Go do trick and treat. I always keep
Well,
confusing that. Trick or
trick or
treat.
treat. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't catch Rona though. Have fun. And yeah, enjoy your life.
Be careful and stay safe. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week. Deuces.
Peace.